Welcome back to another episode of On the Card presented by TRHS Sports. I'm your host, Phil Wood, and we are absolutely on fire. We are having a phenomenal week. Yesterday was amazing. If you were in on yesterday, you are extremely happy. We went 4-1 yesterday. Our only loss was the Raptors -6. That game went about as bad as it possibly could have and still only missed covering by 2 points, which is pretty amazing when you think about it. But more importantly than that, we went 3-0 on NHL underdogs, bringing us to an incredible 7-3 with underdog picks. And when I'm talking underdogs, I'm saying plus 100 or greater. We are 7-3 on those picks. So if you're betting $100 on those games, you're making 115 on the Philly Montreal under 5, 130 on Vancouver winning, and 118 on the New York Islanders winning. That's phenomenal. It offsets the fact that you had to pay a little bit extra to win the White Sox game, but you won the White Sox game. So who cares that you had to pay a little bit extra as long as you keep hitting? We're on a 4-day streak here in the MLB. We have won 4 straight bets in the MLB. I've been doing just one a day. I have a couple more today. Going to try to do a little heat check here and see how I'm really doing with the MLB, see if I still have a good read on it. Right now, 63% in the MLB, 63% in the NBA, 58% in the NHL, including those 3 big underdog winners yesterday. So if you're not listening yet, and I know that I'm talking to nobody because if you're listening, you're listening, but make sure to spread the word. Let people know just how on fire we really are right now. 40-28 overall on the season for 59%. And like I said, 7-3 in underdog bets. I mean, when we're making underdog bets, we're cashing in. And guess what? The Portland Trailblazers are in their final action today. If they win their game, they are the 8th seed in the play-in series, only have to win 1 game against whoever they play. And boy, do I like that. Meaning if you were here for episode one, and you bet $100 on the Portland Trailblazers to be the 8th seed, you could win $400 in the next 2 days. Hope everybody was listening on that one. It's looking really good. Let's actually start off with the NBA. I'm on a little bit of a cold streak in the NBA. I won't lie. I've lost my last 3 bets here. Raptors -6 was a rough one. I'm going to go back to the Grizzlies one more time, and this is the last time I'm taking them, but they're playing against the Milwaukee Bucks who are without Wesley Matthews, obviously without Giannis, because Giannis headbutted somebody and got a BS suspension for that. It doesn't make any sense at all. He should have been suspended for longer. He's getting suspended for a game that he was going to end up sitting out anyway. I don't like it at all, but I do like the Grizzlies to get this game and get a win here. I think Budenholzer ends up sitting a lot of his players in the second half. So I think in the first half, the Bucks keep it close, but in the second half, the Grizzlies end up pulling away. They got to win this game. If they win this game, they're going to get the 9 seed at least. So at least they're in the play-in series. They'll stay ahead of the Suns. They'll stay ahead of the Spurs. They got to win this one. And I like them to get it done. Grizzlies -3.5. It's my only NBA play of the day. I got to get something back here. And I mean, based on the Portland's line is too big. So let's go through these right now. Wizards Celtics, that game's starting in 40 minutes. I have no idea what's going to happen in that game. The Celtics are underdogs by 2. It's hilarious to see the Celtics underdogs by 2. This just goes to show it's just too hard right now with the NBA. This Grizzlies one, I know they got to win it, and I know the Bucks don't have to do anything. There's really no motivation there for the Bucks. And with Giannis, we know he's not playing, so at least we know some things in that game, which is nice. Celtics Wizards, I know nothing. Kings Lakers, I could care less. I barely watched any Kings games anyway. I'm not going to start now in a pointless game where the 1 seed is playing against a team that's already been eliminated. Talked about the Grizzlies Bucks. Then we got the Mavericks Suns. This one's interesting. Suns are favored by 9.5, and I think the Suns are going to blow the Mavericks away. However, it's a big number, and I think the Suns have been covering these big numbers. It seems like Vegas can't really catch up. But how long are the Mavericks going to play some of their players? I don't know. And right now, they're not really screaming, hey, we're sitting everybody. So it's still too early for me to make a call on that one. Also, the over-under's at 235. The Suns just keeps climbing. I liked this around like 119, and now it's up to 121.5. So it's just too big of a number for me to jump on board and start to figure that out. We got the Spurs taking on the Jazz. The Spurs are favored by 8. I think that they're going to get the job done as well. What freaks me out about this game and the reason why I'm not going to end up betting this is because if the Suns and the Grizzlies and it's just the Suns and Grizzlies, if the Suns and Grizzlies win before this game, the Spurs have absolutely nothing to play for. So I don't want to be putting down money on a -8 when you don't know if the team's going to have anything to play for. Keep an eye on those Grizzlies and Suns games and then kind of maybe base your bet on that. But I'm not taking a team at -8 when they might have nothing to play for, especially in this bubble where people are just like, you know what, we're going to sit you out. Maybe they don't play Derek White because of his knee and all that, even though he looked fine the other day. Just something to keep an eye on. Pelicans taking on the Magic. I got nothing. I don't know what's going to end up happening in that game. And then the Nets taking on the Trailblazers. Trailblazers are favored by 10. You got to like the Trailblazers here, but I'm not going to bet it. We already are essentially riding the Trailblazers here because we need them to win this game so that they can get the 8th seed, which would be amazing. Damian Lillard's over-under is at 36.5, and which screams you got to take the under. But then when you've been watching him play, he's going over in this game. I mean, it's just insane how well he's playing. Their total's up to 123.5. I think it's too high. I don't know if they're going to need to score that much against this Nets team, but this is going to be a really, really insane day. Flamin', I'm seeing your comment over here. I don't know if I would have been betting the Celtics money line like that. I don't know if that was a smart bet or not. I'm going to say it wasn't. But so that means the Grizzlies -3.5 is the only bet I'm putting on the card. We're 63% in the NBA. We were at 75% until we are on this 3-game losing streak. I think this is going to be the one that breaks it. I really like the Grizzlies to get the job done against a Bucks team that's playing for nothing without their best player and going to be without, I think, a lot more players as the second half begins. So if they can keep it within 5 to 10 going into halftime, I like them to pull it out in the second half. I'm going to go over to the MLB because we're on a 4-game winning streak, and it's been amazing. We've been doing really great. If you've been following me since 4 days ago, which whatever that was, I guess it's Monday. Cleveland Indians, we had the money line. Phillies over 4.5. Yankees over 5.5. White Sox money line yesterday. We've been killing it with these. I mean, these have just been hitting. I'm going to take 3 of them today. And I'm going to see if I'm going to test my luck a little bit. Pick your favorite out of these. I'll tell you my favorite right now is this first one, which is the Reds 3-way money line. And I know that for some of you is like, why are we betting on the Reds 3-way money line? Well, the Reds are taking on the Pittsburgh Pirates. Trevor Williams getting the start for the Pirates. We faded him last time. It was a bad day. We ended up losing that bet. But he's going against this Sclafani. I can't say his last name. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know how to say his last name. But for the Reds, he has not given up a run yet this season. I like him against a Pirates team that's really, really bad to continue his really good ways. And I think Trevor Williams is going to get hit a little bit in this game, even if he only gives up 1 or 2 runs. That's why I'm looking at this first 5 money line. And it's a 3-way bet because you don't want to end up having to do the -0.5. You're taking a little bit of a risk here, but it keeps the number down at 130. -130 is what I'm seeing it at, as opposed to if you just take the money line for the first 5 innings, you're looking at -200. That's too big of a number. It's not worth it for a Reds team that's kind of all over. But I do like this 3-way -130 because that inputs the tie. I don't think we're going to be tied. I think the Reds are going to be winning this after 5 innings. I think the Reds are going to be leading this game from start to finish. So I like the Reds to get the job done. Reds 3-way -130. We're putting that on the card. The next one I like here is the Phillies, and we've been okay on Phillies bets right now. They're taking on the Orioles, and the Orioles right now are on a winning streak. They've beaten the Phillies in their last 2 games. The Phillies need a win really bad. The Orioles are somehow 9-7. Nobody really understands how, but hey, that's crazy shortened season baseball for you. We have Thomas Eshelman taking on Jake Arrieta, and I like Jake Arrieta to win this matchup easily. I like the Orioles to get smoked in this game. I don't think they're going to be able to hit Arrieta, and I think the Phillies are finally going to find some offense and destroy Thomas Eshelman. I know that they lost one of their games 10-9, but still, I think that this one, they actually pull out the win, and I like them so much here. I'm taking their -1.5 at +100. So if we can hit this one and we hit the first one, we've offset the fact that we had to pay a little extra juice. Phillies -1.5 at +100 against an Orioles team that is just overachieving in their last 2 games. I'm not necessarily going against a hot hand here. I don't think I really am. I just think Arrieta is going to have their number, and I think the Phillies are going to be able to tee off on Eshelman, who really isn't that great of a pitcher. I mean, granted, he is on the Orioles, so we all knew that, but he's been okay in his last couple starts. He was against the Nationals, he was against the Marlins, but he hasn't been giving up a lot of runs. He just doesn't pitch very many innings. Against the Nationals, he pitched 4 innings. Against the Marlins, he pitched 3.1. So he's been only giving up 3 runs in those 2 games, but he only pitched 7.1 innings across those 2 games. Turn it over to the Orioles bullpen. I like the Phillies to be able to tee off and get themselves a 2-run or more victory in this game. So Phillies -1.5 at +100, putting that on the card. And finally, I got the Rays and the Red Sox first 5 over 5.5. The reason I like this one is because the Red Sox pitcher is making his debut against a good Rays team. Tyler Glasnow has not been as good as he was last season. He struggled a little bit early on here. And if you look at his numbers, I think the Red Sox are going to be able to hit him. They're familiar with him, all of those great things. He only pitched 2.2 innings against the Yankees, 4.2 against the Orioles, 4 against the Braves. I think that he's going to give up runs in this game. He gave up 4, 2, and 1. And on the other side, Kyle Hart is getting his first start for the Red Sox. I think that the Rays are going to give him a little welcome to the MLB in this game. Even if it doesn't happen in the first or second inning, I think they're going to string along enough hits. They're going to be getting second looks at this kid in the third inning, and they're going to start hitting him. And I think that this game easily goes over 4.5 for the first 5 innings. So that's what I have. Rays, Red Sox, first 5, over 4.5. 3 MLB bets today. We're on a 4-game winning streak. We were 6-6. Look at us now, 10-6. Maybe we can pull out all 3 of these and really, really be on a heater. But those are my 3 best bets for that one. Let's jump over to the NHL, where things have been really, really fun. I mean, yesterday was a great day if you were betting on the card. We had a phenomenal NHL day, and really the games weren't even stressful. That was the best part of everything, is that you could sit there and you could enjoy these hockey games. Philadelphia, Montreal, under 5. The only scary part was Montreal possibly tying up the game, but Carter Hart is playing out of his head. Carter Hart is absolutely amazing right now for the Flyers. We had that save by Price. That was one of the most insane saves I've ever seen in my entire life, where he just threw a stick in front of the wide open net and knocked the puck up in the air. Still wasn't going to go over anyway. I think this game would have ended 3-1 at best. So we got that Philly-Montreal under easy. The Islanders were down 2-0 and then just destroyed the Capitals in the second half of that game. There's no way they should have ever been losing anyway. If they can stay at even strength, the Islanders are winning that series in 5 games. I mean, if they stay at either, I don't know if the Capitals are going to score an even strength goal in this series. I really don't, because they can't do anything against that Islanders defense. The only way they were scoring was shorthanded. The Islanders got to stay out of the penalty box and they'll win that series easily. Vancouver, they dominated the Blues in that game. I mean, they looked so good against the Blues. The Blues look frustrated. They look confused. We were killing it yesterday. I hope everybody bet with me, because you made so much and you deserved it. All right. But today, what do I like today? So today, I'm staying away from the Blue Jackets and Lightning. Look, that took up 6.5 hours of my life the other day in game 1, all for a measly money line bet of like minus 150 or something like that. I'm not going near it again. The Lightning are money line minus 180, over under set at 5.5. Lightning money puck line minus 1.5 at plus 150. I'm going to stay away from this game because I got to see what these two teams look like after a game like that. How are they doing with just a day rest? How is it going to be mentally for the Columbus Blue Jackets? How do you bounce back from a game like that? I don't know if you can, and not right away. So I'm going to stay away from that game. That's just too much for me. I like the Blackhawks Vegas game though in 2 ways. I think I learned my lesson in game 1. This Chicago team cannot play with Vegas. They can't play with them. They got a fluky shorthanded goal to make it 4-1. Vegas didn't try to score in the first period and still scored 4 goals in this game. I expected them to come out firing in this game and just put this one away early so that they don't have to play in any type of stress in the second or third period. I think they come out, they dominate. We won the over 2 goals in the second period bet last time, which was a nice one to win. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put 2 things on the Vegas Golden Knights here because I think that they're just that good. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say Vegas minus 1.5 at plus 128. I think they win this game easily. And Vegas over 3.5 goals, which is at the nice number of minus 110. They haven't changed it. That is what the line is set at, is them over under 3.5 goals. I like them to go over in this game. I don't know if Chicago's ever going to be able to play with this Vegas team. So I'm not going to take the game over, which is set at 6. You could go that route, and I don't think that you should be too scared of that number. But it's just one of those things. I don't know if Chicago is going to score, and if Chicago doesn't score, then let's just put it all on Vegas. And Vegas is they're going to win this game. I mean, I have like almost no doubt in my mind after watching that first game. Chicago cannot play with this Vegas team. Vegas is going to create a lot of opportunities in the first period this time, rather than taking like 5 or 6 shots, whatever they did in the first game. And I like them to absolutely dominate the Chicago Blackhawks in this game. Next game is the Hurricanes versus Bruins. They're coming off the short layoff. It was a close game anyway. I really don't want to go near this one. It scares me, especially coming off the short layoff. Look, the Bruins won it in double overtime, and now they've got to come back and they got to play today. I don't want to touch this game. I am scared of it. I was scared of it before, and now I'm scared of it even more. So I'm going to stay away from that one. And the final game of the day is the Calgary Flames versus the Dallas Stars. I like the under in this game, under 5.5. Well, right now it's under 5 goals, so under 5 at plus 102. So another underdog bet, which will give us 2 underdog bets today. But hey, look, if it's working, why fix it? So the reason I like this one is the Stars offense is really bad. It's really bad, and they have a really hard time scoring. I know that this game did end 3-2 last time. I think that's going to be the highest scoring game of the series. And I said that with the Flames and the Jets in their first series, and then I think the next game went for 6 goals. But I really believe that the Stars defense is better than the Jets defense, and the only way they're going to be able to win games is if it's 1-0, 2-1, something like that. I like them to keep this one low scoring. I think they still are the better team than the Flames. I think they can compete with the Flames, no problem. And I think that this one stays really low because the Stars can't score, and I think their defense has to come out prepared for them to not be able to score and really frustrate this Calgary Flames team. So that's another one I'm putting on the card. 7 bets today. That's what we got. Anybody who was paying attention, I know I didn't bet the MLS yesterday, but hey, the MLS had fans in the stands. So while college football is canceling half of their games, the MLS is putting fans in the stands. I just want to throw that out there for all of you. Pretty awesome. That means sports are coming back, at least in my book. It's a good sign. I don't know. Maybe I saw like an article that was like, oh, are we on the way, or is this just reckless? And I'm like, look, I'm not there. So I just hope that I hope everything went well. I hope everything went awesome. And I hope that, everybody enjoyed their little MLS game that I didn't even check the final score for, because we're done betting MLS. They're not in a tournament anymore. We end the season 2-4, which brings down our win percentage, but doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Everything else is so good right now. If we got rid of the MLS, we're 61% on the season. If you've been following along, we're going to get a big Blazers win tonight, and everything's going to be great. So here's the bets one more time. This is our card for Thursday, August 13th, 2020. We got the Reds 3-way at -130, Phillies -1.5 at +100, Rays, Red Sox, first 5 over 4.5, Grizzlies -3.5, Vegas Golden Knights over 3.5 goals, Vegas Golden Knights -1.5 at +128, and Calgary and Dallas under 5 at +102. If you're enjoying what you're hearing, make sure to check out my website, betonphilwood.com. Keep on supporting TRHS Sports. We are going to take off at some point. You don't just start betting 59% and 63% on 2 of the biggest leagues in America and don't get noticed. So it's going to start taking off at some point. Be happy you got in here early, because right now you'd be up a lot of money. If you were just betting our underdog bets, you're 7-3. If you put $100 on each of those, you're 7-3. I just need to keep reiterating that. You would have won a lot of money right now, at least $700 more than what you started with. That doesn't even include all the extra juice you're getting for betting underdogs. So keep on spreading the word. Keep on telling people that we're around. And I'll see you tomorrow morning